Content marketing is not the same as SEO, and only top 1% of tech marketers really understand this. After watching this video, hopefully you will understand it as well, and in much more detail than almost anybody else. So let's have a look at the definitions first. I mean, this is probably pretty obvious and known by most, but just to be kind of on the same page, SEO. Yes, what is SEO? The goals of SEO are to get traffic through organic search. Mostly in the tech space is going to be Google, Bing, YouTube, and then rank high for key terms, right? So to be on page 1 of Google, or kind of to be in positions 1 through 3 in Google, is generally associated with SEO success, let's say. And then the process of getting there is traditionally on-page optimization, such as content optimization, technical optimization, and then off-page, such as creating and building links and building authority. Yes, increasing authority. Other activities involve keyword research and then rank tracking as a way to measure the impact. So this is the SEO part. Now, when we look at content marketing, the list is quite different. The goal of content marketing is actually behavior change in the marketplace, yes, which is marketing. Marketing is in kind of behavioral change in the marketplace through content, through things like written articles, through videos, through audio, podcasts, things like that. Another goal that commonly gets associated with content marketing is getting attention. Building trust with buyers is also one of those, and eventually driving sales pipeline and product adoption. The process for content marketing is ideation based on industry trends, in-house knowledge, data, customer conversations, all of that stuff, kind of creating ideas for the things that you want to create. Then the actual content creation, then distribution of what you created through the various channels. It could involve organic search, but it could also involve social, email, YouTube, things like that, yes? And then conversion and engagement tracking on what you created. So these are the definitions. Now, there are some overlaps, so there's definitely some touch points where content marketing touches SEO and vice versa. And where that happens are these 3 scenarios. So one is SEO is one of the content distribution methods. So when you're doing content marketing, once you have created a piece of content, you're going to somehow distribute it to your audience. And one of the ways that you can do it, you can do it via email by sending that piece of content via a newsletter to everybody who's subscribed. You can post it on LinkedIn or Twitter or elsewhere. But then also you can get people to read your content through SEO, right? And that means that you're writing an article that is probably going to rank for a search term, and then people will search for that. They will come to your article, they will read it, and they will kind of engage with your content that way. Yes, this is one of the ways where SEO is related to content marketing, which is through distribution. Another way that this is related is in the effects. So if you're doing content marketing, generally kind of creating content and things like that, you are creating change in the marketplace, you're increasing authority, and then that generally gets associated with higher search visibility, right? So content marketing is generally going to have a positive effect on search as well. And a third pillar is a set of things that increase the likelihood of content marketing success. So things like having a strong point of view and then having a messaging that fits the market are probably going to increase the likelihood of content marketing success. But good distribution through SEO or otherwise is generally also associated with higher content marketing success. Yes. So this is kind of the areas where the two are related. But the list of differences is much longer, right? So the differences between SEO and content marketing. First one is SEO is a channel usually measured by traffic, while content marketing is a marketing discipline measured by change in the marketplace. Yes. So for SEO, traffic is a traditional SEO measure, right? The goal of an SEO program could be to increase your organic traffic by 50% by end of year or something like that. For many startups, especially in the dev tool space, doing things which are new, like creating new categories or just doing stuff that was not really done before, the traditional approach of SEO chasing traffic is useless because there's no search volume for the things that they're doing. Yes, this is a new category. Most people by default are not going to know about this and therefore they will not search for it. Yeah, so the traditional SEO approach is just not going to work here. If you try to measure content marketing using traffic as the measuring stick, you will fail, right? Because SEO as a channel can be measured by traffic, but change in the marketplace can usually not be measured by traffic so easily. Yes. So this is kind of the difference on this kind of on the measurement side. Then on the process side, SEO is mechanical while content marketing is creative. Yeah, so what that means is SEO activities are generally well understood and well defined, and they're quite transferable between domains. So if somebody's doing SEO for DevTools, they can probably do SEO for enterprise infrastructure. They probably can do SEO for a consumer-facing SaaS or something like that. Yes, obviously there's kind of more specific kind of domain experience that is going to make things easier in some cases, but SEO is basically a set of predefined activities. Yes. And then content marketing includes some mechanical components, especially around distribution, but the core is creative. So there's no fixed structure for a piece of content that you're creating. It is up to you what that structure is, and many different structures can work. Yes, with SEO, there's a limited set of things that will actually work. And then SEOs have actually mechanized the content creation activities, right? So if you're thinking about SEO focused content, then a lot of it is templated. A lot of it is actually kind of generated from the same kind of automated research that the SEO tools are producing. And basically that has turned this creative content marketing discipline into a mechanical activity. And that is one of the causes of the search results being what we have today, right? So when you're kind of searching and are wondering why is this here, right? This is the result of mechanization of content marketing by the SEO industry effectively. And then SEO is usually used to capture demand, yes, because people are searching for a topic, and then you're using SEO to rank highly for that topic and get people to come to you rather than anybody else. While content marketing can be used to both capture and create demand, yes. So with SEO, it's mostly about the existing searches, and then you can be a little bit clever, like you can try to be clever and pivot from like an existing search into a new category that you're creating, but that will have challenges, right? So you will probably not rank as high, or it's going to take longer to rank for something that is not exactly what people are searching for. With content marketing, you're not restricted to pockets of existing search demand. Yes, so you can work directly with the audience and their problems because you're not necessarily going to them only through search, right? You're potentially going to them through other channels, even when they're not actively searching. And finally, SEO is mostly transactionally focused, right? So when the person is searching, they have already understood their problem. They're looking for a solution. And then SEO is looking to connect the person to the solution and to get them to click and get them to go to the site. Yeah, that is kind of the focus. While on content marketing, you're mostly focusing on building trust. Yeah, so if you're reaching the person before they even start searching, you have a chance to frame the problem in a way that is beneficial to you, shape their thinking, build trust in that process, so that when the time comes for them to actually kind of take action on that problem or on solving that problem, they actually come to you. Yeah, so completely different disciplines. Again, some overlap, but for the vast majority of the things, they're completely different. So how does that apply to you? Yeah, what takeaways can you take from these differences? So number one is if you are kind of working on SEO or content marketing, be clear which one you're working on. Yes, SEO content will be more mechanical. Content marketing will be more creative. If you are trying to do SEO, then you should be doing SEO. If you're trying to do content marketing, then you should be doing content marketing. You should ideally not be mixing the two. Yes. Second is don't try to measure SEO by marketplace change or content marketing by traffic, because those are the reverse measurements, right? So SEO is being measured by traffic, and then content marketing by marketplace change. If you try to measure one by the measuring stick of the other, you're going to fail. Yes, because they will not kind of work for those measurements. If you are creating something new like a startup, then you probably need content marketing more than SEO, again, for the reason that I mentioned, that there may be no existing search demand, or you may have a hard time pivoting from existing demand into a new solution. Fourth, put an SEO in charge of content marketing and they will struggle. Put a content marketing in charge of SEO and they will struggle as well, right? So again, significantly different disciplines, so it pays to have people specialize in in charge of that channel where they actually know what to do with it, right? So putting SEOs in charge of SEO and putting content marketers in charge of content marketing. Very, very few people are good at both content marketing and SEO, especially in technical domain. Probably a few people in the entire world, depending on kind of the criteria that you use. It's like very, very few people in the entire world actually know this distinction even, right? And so if you're looking for somebody who is going to be in charge of both SEO and content marketing, this is going to be very, very rare, or they may be successful in one area but not the other. Yes. So now hopefully you understand the difference between content marketing and SEO, and hopefully you can kind of get better results on either activity by understanding the difference.